born, the throne awaits. A seer warns of a deadly fate. Give up your children, separate.
Hello everyone, Davu Game Review Show. This is episode 4 of season 1. And as of 2025 is closing in, and Christmas, damn, time really flies, doesn't it? You would think that as you are younger, when you're like 14 or 15, going through middle school, that time goes kind of slow and you're kind of bored with math and you're kind of tired all the time and you're like, oh, do I really have to do this? But then as you get older, you're like, wow, yeah, time really does go by. And it always goes forward, it never goes backwards. Speaking of backwards, Sonic Generations. One of my all-time favorite video games. So without further ado, let's get into the game. You might be asking yourself, what's up with the title? Well, believe it or not, but someone at Sonic Team or Sega's headquarters actually thought it would be a good idea, despite all the fanfic and deviant art. This is by far the longest title for a Sonic game since Sonic Chronicles Brotherhood. But we don't talk about that game, as that game can be summed up in one sentence. It looks like crap, it plays like crap, but anyway, let's get on with the review. I think the main Sonic Generations released in 2011, developed by Sonic Team and Sega, is better than Sonic 2, 3 and Knuckles, or 3K, and even both the adventure games combined. And that's saying something, as I would not consider myself to be a Sonic fan per se, as most games range from mediocre to average. But also, there is a heavy condition to being a Sonic fan in this day and age, with people such as Chris Chan or furries in general, so it's not exclusive to brownies. More on that on my fandom and toxicity rant video, which will be coming out by the time that I turn 30. Anyway, Sonic Generations sees you playing as classic Sonic and modern Sonic before Sonic Team or Sega decided to break Sonic's legs later, about 6 years later or so, with Sonic Forces, released in 2017 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, despite looking like a PS3 360 game in terms of art style. But the art style was that game's least problems, as it was incredibly short, underwhelming, and completely destroyed what was established here in Sonic Generations. So yes, Sonic Generations is in fact the best boost game, I would argue. I understand and admire the passion behind Unleashed, fans who prefer that boost game over this one, but I just find myself going to this one more, as it is basically just Sonic 2 on the 16-bit, but now on a PS3 console, and more recently in a remaster known as Sonic X Shadow Generations, which I will be reviewing for this video, but also Shadow Generations or Shadow 2.0 according to Video Game Donkey in about, after I review Rayman. Sonic fans are often uncertain or don't in fact know what they want off of a Sonic game, but I can't find a single flaw in this game, except for maybe Planet Wisp as classic Sonic and modern Sonic City Escape. But no game is perfect, and compared to Sonic 2 and 3, this game is just so much more fun and by far one of my all-time favorite video games, period. Sonic Adventure 3 fanboys who debated with Sonic fans online who are minors can suck it. Yeah, that's right. I'm especially looking at you, Steve. I know you're watching. Just accept the fact that the third adventure game didn't come into fruition. It is either that or go with the Great Clement's approach of saying Sonic 2006, Sonic Next Gen, was in fact Sonic Adventure 3 all along. Or I suppose Sonic Unleashed, since that one was called Sonic's World Adventure in Japan. Come to think of it, and it had plans originally to have Knuckles as a playable character instead of the Werehog, which we ended up getting. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's get on to that gameplay. Sonic Generations have you playing as Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic in the second act. Classic Sonic Spin Dash is immensely OP, but I found myself it reminded me of Sonic Spin Dash from Sonic Adventure 1 on the Sega Dreamcast. And if you guys know me, I preferred the first adventure game over the second one, which celebrated Sonic's 10th anniversary. But full disclosure, I simply voiced my own opinion. I don't expect anyone, or everyone for that matter, to agree with me. I am not, I repeat, not a Sonic fan. And now that there are newer fans from the movies and Sonic Frontiers, or Prime on Netflix, despite moving the icon forward in his legacy, the continued reboots, tonal shifts in each installment or TV show, movie can be extremely mentally draining, although the third Sonic movie with Keanu Reeves is going to be a real banger. Let's be real here. This game, Sonic Generations, is perfect. Just perfect. The physics and love and care put into the level design for Boost Sonic's gameplay in this one is unmatched. They replicated what people essentially liked from Sonic 2 on the Genesis and replicated it here with Sonic Generations, released in 2011 to celebrate Sonic's anniversary after Sonic Colors released on the Wii and Nintendo DS by Dimps. I thank the level designers and team at Sonic Team at the time who made this game, as they left after the production of this game to work on Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch instead, and weren't a part of Sonic Forces in 2017. Made the perfect evolution of that formula here, as it combines speed and platforming, and even throws in a bit of exploration too. Whereas Sonic 3 is more of a Sonic Adventure 1 ish kind of scenario, or maybe Sonic 06 if you want to go down that route. But I'm probably writing my death memoir by saying this to Sonic fans watching this. Anyway, what about the bosses? Well, all the bosses are great and fun. However, the Death Egg robot is complete bullshit in the way it works. Sometimes the target of its shooting works, sometimes it doesn't work quite as it should. You need to play it for yourself to understand what I mean. But yeah, I completely agree with everyone who said this boss fight was BS, as I don't see why already at the start of it you can only damage it from its back and not the front, unlike Sonic 2 on the Genesis. Don't get me wrong, I get they wanted to make it different from the Genesis game, but why did they have to then implement this second phase, then where the radar or whatever on Classic Sonic remains inconsistent or borderline broken? But that boss aside, I like them all. Perfect Chaos is perfect, and yes, you know it, don't lie. I even enjoy Shadow's boss fight despite the boost being mandatory here, which is mainly optional otherwise in this game. And I even find myself enjoying the Metal Sonic Showdown from Sonic CD, with Classic Sonic using the Bad Future theme of Metal Sonic US in Stardust Speedway, which, just like Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2, didn't receive its own level. That's my main critique. This game being too short, with 9 zones only and 2 acts per zone. Generations could have really used some DLCs back in the day, instead of relying on the modding community to do it for them. Although, because Sonic Team were underpaid by Sega, since working for Sega sucks, I don't blame Sonic Team that worked on this game, abandoning Sonic completely after this game to work on Mario Odyssey. 12 zones is all I'm asking for. Not 15, not 18, just 12. So yeah, 3 more zones would have been nice. But that's where Shadow Generations comes in. As for this game, it still holds up as a tribute to Sonic's past, present, and future, and it always will. So I am giving it at least a great score. But if you were to ask me, I would give it a 10 because, man, this is one of my all time favorite video games of all time.